Tranquility.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another amazing match here at Overwatch Tranquility. Tonight, we will be kicking off our Season 3 Discord tier playoffs with two teams that know each other incredibly well.
Oh,
Or,
that's
wait,
not
we are
fair.
not. I am reading the absolutely wrong script here. Transcendence tier is what I meant.
Yes.
So it's going to be a screwy night to begin with. Animus versus Rebellion this evening, going at it here on Overwatch Tranquility. I'm your play-by-play for the evening, Captain Jack, joined by Booth coming in on the color. How you feeling tonight, Booth?
Feeling pretty good. This should be a pretty good one here. Pretty familiar with both of these teams. Known here in the community pretty well. A lot of players, especially on Animus, been on teams previously. Both teams again in Group Pool C. Definitely not had the strongest stage one. Both could be looking to make a name for themselves here in stage two to try to get as high as a seed they can going into the playoffs tonight. So both teams are going to be very hungry. Very hungry.
All right. Well, our first map of the evening is Lijiang Tower. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams for Team Animus. We have Drip, Smirk, Programmer, Kabunga, Crimson, the Gaming Mammoth, and Shivers. And for the side of Rebellion, we have Explode 1000, Keck, Blight, NLS Stern, KC Glenn, Styx, Lucio, Balake, Uri, and Phoenix Fire. So obviously not all of them are going to be playing at the same time, but I imagine we're going to be seeing some swaps here and there throughout the evening. Seeing as we're heading to our first map here on Lijiang Tower, what do you think we might end up seeing coming out for these teams, Booth?
Well, it looks like already some of the basic things we're going to be opening on Control Center here. We have double shield on the side of Animus, using the Mei and the Torb. Torb being really strong right now. You're starting to see that in a lot of higher tier play. Crimson had a really good Torb highlight last week that we saw. Still running the Baptiste and the Lucio there. And the Rebellion going with the Ryan Zarya composition there. They have them where it will give them a lot of healing. You see the Meis out of both sides here. Both are really going to be fighting for that White Room presence to see who can kind of, wall off the point first here. But Nigel on the McCree is the difference maker. Him versus Crimson are going to be the two big differences between both of these comps, besides the double shield, of course.
That is true, and the Maywall Ori coming up as they go ahead and make their way onto the high ground. Animus looking to see if they can get that first pick as Shields go against Shields right now. We see Kabunga getting the first pick there on to try as they move their way into the objective with the second one coming in from Crimson. It looks like they're going to go ahead and run them down. That mini Torb just rocking its way in there as Pro Gamer takes down Blight there at the end. Control going to Animus.
And now Animus is going to have a lot of presence holding up close here with that double shield. Did you see Nigel switching off the McCree now over to the Junkrat, trying to get a bit more presence here? Looks like we're going to have support outs of both main supports here on each side. Smirk going to have that Baptiste window, and then Phoenix Fire going to have that Coalescence as well. You're going to expect both to probably open it up with here. Kabunga's pulls have been really big so far for the side of Animus. They've been able to put a lot of damage through.
All right, the window Ore coming open, but ends up getting separated out by the way Maywall as the Coalescence now coming out from Phoenix Fire, looking to see if it can do some damage, but Kabunga already getting the pick on to try again at the beginning of this fight. Working their way in. Big old Hulk coming in, looking to see if they can get that pick onto Snowy right there, but will be unsuccessful. Nigel ends up getting the double kill onto Crimson and Smirk as they continue to fight for control of the objective. 45% and climbing right now as Kabunga trying to hold on, but ends up falling in the Junkrat trap. Control still going to Animus though as Try goes and now back in the fight, looking to see if they can grab that control, but Kraken moving their way into the objective, seeing if they can hold the Blizzard going off the back line, but Programmer getting taken down by that concussion mine. 60% and climbing as the Maywall separating out the team from the objective. They can't capture it, but at the 61% mark, Rebellion will go ahead and take control of the objective.
Yeah, Animus got another about 20% on the point there. Basically, after the fight was already lost, you saw Kraken using Lit Brick there and Pro Gamer using that May wall. And, I mean, using the Blizzard there. And they got him through pretty quickly, but already pushing in. You're going to have the Ultimate Rebellion coming out. Wow.
And that Graviton was huge. Coalescence coming in the end from Phoenix Fire to clean that up. That is a beautiful team kill, ringing out loud and proud right there as they go ahead and set up for another fight.
That's right, they have the Blizzard and the Tire here to hold the choke with. You see Ryan getting close to that Shatter. Crimson's got to get a pretty good Torb ultimate off here. Haven't seen too much of that here. Already looking at the second ultimate here from Smirk as well.
Woo! The Maywall Ore separating now two from the team as they try to hold up. The lamp is showing successful. It's a fat shatter though as the lamp goes down and they're moving their way in. Nigel and Snowy getting the first two picks, but Trigozen is like a Rhine on the edge, just hitting everyone with that big old hammer. They're going to go ahead and take the team out once again. Rebellion now taking the lead.
Yeah, Rebellion taking over in presence and still didn't use either of their DPS ultimates there. You saw using the Lucio beat from the side of Animus, not saving that there for the for the May ultimate, switching over to that Zenyatta now, maybe trying to get a fast Transcendence up. With only 72% left yet, I'm not a big fan of that pick here. I kind of would want them to stick with the Lucio.
All right, well, it looks like they're moving in regardless. The Blizzard coming out from Blight, along with the Coalescence from Phoenix Fire once again, looking to see if they can do some damage. And again, we are seeing another huge team wipe right there coming in from Rebellion as they sit at the 90% mark, getting ready to take this match.
Yeah, they have another Shatter and they have the grab here. They're going to put the Tire in early, try to get some picks. A lot of ultimates coming out for him. I don't think Animus can be able to touch the point. No, they are not.
That was a full team grab right there. Could not get away. And even if they didn't, Trigozen almost got that Shatter off before the Gravitic Flux ended up coming in. Round one is going to go to Rebellion there, but we got at least 2 more rounds to go, folks. I wonder if Animus can bring it back.
Yeah, you got to think. I don't think the Torb really worked out too much for Animus there. I think it was kind of an interesting pick. It would have worked. I think it worked well for them once they had the point. You saw them getting up towards like 65% or so, and it worked pretty well for them. But after that, I think it's hard to recontest with that Torb. I do like Crimson starting out now on the Hanzo instead. Rebellion sticking with the same comp I think we saw last time. You see Pro Gamer over on that Pharah. No Mercy with the side of Animus right now. Still sticking with the Lucio and the Baptiste. So Pro Gamer's gonna be careful there. That Nigel there on hit scan with the McCree should be able to deal with this fire pretty well here without too much of a pocket going to be there for them. But they're gonna push into White Room. That should give a little bit of space for them to not evade some of this fire. But Pro Gamer getting that first pick right away.
That is true, and it looks like that Mercy Pocket is coming in from Mammoth Gamer as they go ahead and move their way in. Crimson getting the double kill right there. Oh, but we've got a DC on the field, folks. Smirk gonna have to wait until they get back into the fight right there. But looking at numbers right now, we are at a 4v4 fight, engaging on the, well, I guess 3v4 technically, because they ended up losing one of the ones that were on the objective. So how do you think that this might turn out? It looks like Snowy, based on the angle that I've got right here, is pretty close to fully charged after that first encounter, and looking to see if they can take Pro Gamer and Mammoth out of the sky right there.
Yeah.
But with those double tanks, it's going to be hard to try to take them down as a DPS and healer.
Yes, it will. It's going to really be up to see if Nigel can get a good pick, maybe trying to get the Mercy. Not really sure. I think you see Crimson right in the front of point here as well. Might be smarter for the side of Rebellion to try to just push in and kill Crimson. You did get 2 big picks there at the end, taking out both of the supports. But kind of make the Mercy pick. Are you going to pocket the fire here? Are you going to stick on the Hanzo and just go after whatever target they don't go for here? For them, though, if they can get that pick. I think they had the first pick originally, and I think their Lucio and their May could be back pretty early in this fight, so they should have a respawn advantage. And I think they're going to be able to cap the point as well, it looks like.
All right, well, let's see. It looks like we're going to see Pro Gamer move their way into the objective, try to contest, but gets melted by Snowy immediately. 5% and climbing right now for Rebellion.
That's right. And now you see Pro Gamer will have the barrage coming to this next fight. Not going to be any ultimates really up for the side of Rebellion. You can expect Phoenix Fire to probably get the Coalescence up pretty early here, but they're going to be looking to use a pull combo here early on. And oh, a big pick there from Crimson early on onto that May.
That is huge. With Blight out of the way, they might be able to make their way in, but Nigel and Snowy getting the double kill right there as they go ahead and try to make their way in. Phoenix Fire coming out with the Coalescence to go ahead and solidify all those kills right there. And Snowy with the triple kill cleans up the rest of Animus. We're going to see some swaps over on the side of Animus as they get ready for their next push.
Yeah, I like the swap over to Ryan Zarya. I think Rebellion's being able to hold so much more ground. That Reinhardt gets to be so aggressive, and they were just pushing through the double shield basically every time, and enough sustain from the bubble so they can get a lot of damage in. It's going to be tough for them now. They're going to have both tank ults on the side of Rebellion. Animus not going to have those to rotate back with here, so they need to take a pretty early fight or get some big picks again. The Mei going down at the beginning of the fight.
That is huge, and the Shatter comes in, but it doesn't end up getting much anything as Kraken able to take down Tragozan right there. Nigel on that McCree looking to pop that high noon, but gets popped right between the eyes by Crimson. Snowy continuing to hold onto the objective as long as possible. 75% and climbing right now for Rebellion, but they are getting slammed right now as Crimson and Pro Gamer end up getting additional picks on the objective. It looks like here in the end, oh no, Blight back in with the icicle right there, able to get a couple additional percentages at the 88% mark. We will see control swap over to Animus.
88% is really good for Rebellion here. They're gonna have 5 ultimates probably here in this next fight. They have the High Noon, they're gonna have the Blizzard, and they're gonna have Grav. But the ults from Animus almost there as well. If they can get a couple of more poke here before Rebellion pokes in, they should have both their tank ultimates. Pro Gamer gonna have that barrage as well. If he can catch them coming across the bridge here, and they have the bubble there from Kraken available for Pro Gamer. And also, they're about to have the Grav Dragon now with Crimson and Kraken as well. So a lot of ults going to be coming out in the fight. Whatever team can land their first.
Whoop, well, there comes the Grav coming in, but the High Noon comes out, ends up canceling everything. Pro Gamer ends up falling as well as a majority of the rest of the team. Pro Gamer gets res back in, but the Dragon Strike just coming a little too late into the fight. Tragozan ends up taking Crimson out as they regain control of the objective.
Yeah, you see why it's so important to have defensive ultimates in fights like these. That Lucio beat just gave him just enough sustain to kind of make it through there at the end. And Animus probably won't be able to touch you again. They're going to be pushing into point along the side and just missed. Oh, they were just on the edge of the point there. But Rebellion taking our first map here in control, making it 1-0 so far here in the series.
And that was absolutely beautiful work done there by Rebellion. Phoenix Fire, play of the game, having pretty much a Moira ult every single fight during both these rounds. I was absolutely impressed by the amount of coalescences we saw coming out during this match here on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, that was really great for them. They could combo that with a lot of the ultimates there as well. They could combo that with the Blizzard for a lot of immediate damage. They did it with the Graviton Surge quite a lot. They seem to be, a lot of good teamwork on the side of Rebellion. They seem to be shifting their ultimates well. They did another good job, I thought, in a couple of the fights, especially early on in Control Center, where they would have a few of their DPS ultimates. And, you feel like you need to start using them as soon as you get them, opening fights with them. But they were getting picks, 1 or 2 before the fights really started to begin and held on to those ultimates. So then basically at the end, you saw that on that last fight as well. They had just 5 ultimates going in. And it's pretty hard to stop a team with 5, 6 ultimates in a fight, regardless of what you have on your side. And that discipline on the side of Rebellion to know when they need to and not need to use their ults was probably the difference maker there in that last map.
No, I definitely can agree with you there. It's been the scores based on what they were coming in with are definitely showing this evening. Rebellion sitting at 2-3 right now in the season, with Animus at 1-4 right now. So pretty much our 2 of our lower ranked teams in the season right now, looking to try to make their way just a little bit higher in those rankings. It looks like our next map is going to end up being Volskaya Industries, which could end up being incredibly huge based on what we've been seeing from these 2 teams. How do you think the attack and or defense are going to go for either Animus or Rebellion?
So Rebellion probably gonna stick with that Ryan Zarya again. Always been a pretty good map for that tank combo, especially right now. Which again, to remind people, we have hero bans in effect this week of no Diva, no Ana, no Reaper, or Sombra. You would maybe have expected some Diva play so far, but of course Diva being banned right now, along with the Ana. So I think they'll probably stick Ryan Zarya. That kind of gives you those like 3 different options. You can go like with a Winston Ball. Some teams running Disruption Dive with Ball Zarya, or you go double shield, which we saw Animus doing on a lot of the maps here so far, or you see Ryan Zarya, which on Volskaya Industries, I think you stick with that again. On defense, double shield could be pretty good on that first point. But if you got to give it to anybody, you think just the way Rebellion was playing that kind of death volley composition, it's going to work well for them again. You'd expect on Volskaya. But I guess Animus, if they are going to stick with that double shield, at least here on the defense, it will be pretty strong for them, at least going in. But if they are on attack here first, they definitely have to drop the double shield on attack, I think.
No, I can definitely agree with you there. It's going to be interesting, the different compositions that they might end up running. They could run a similar death ball style composition if they feel like that's the only way that they can fight against Rebellion, or they can do what they were doing at the beginning and trying to keep Rebellion at a distance. The death ball is only as powerful as close as it can get to your enemy. So if you continue to use the Arista Sigma to be able to keep them kind of at a distance, maybe pull out like a double sniper or a Junkrat, something that can easily break the shields as they're coming in and just get pick after pick, it could work out incredibly well for them. But we are just waiting for them to go ahead and start up this Mac. Looking in the chat right now, it looks like a lot of people entering into that giveaway. Lots of points, probably at least 10,000 points currently sitting in the chat right now. And Hudson OW saying, yo, Jeff Kaplan. Well, Jeff's not here, Hudson. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and we'll try to answer them best we can. We try to get Jeff in here, but unfortunately, he's a busy man. Kabunga coming in. Yeah, there's people in here, and if there's no one in here, then this 35 viewers that I'm seeing right now is definitely going to be hard to counter, I guess. So I think everybody's just so intensely invested in waiting for this match to start. I know that I am.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I am as well. I'm excited. I really want to get this one going as soon as we can. I think Volskaya, I think even if I like this pick out of Animus, going back to their map choices again, because how we have it go is normally the person who loses the previous map has the choice in the next one. They had the choices between Paris, Anubis, and Volskaya. So first off, thank you for not choosing Paris. I didn't want to cast Paris. I don't think anybody really wants to see that as best as we can. I think, Anubis can sometimes be interesting. I like the Volskaya pick out of them, I think, but also looking at that's probably the map Rebellion would have picked, in my opinion, as well. So both teams probably have something planned out here. Hopefully we'll see some. I think the Hanzo and Crimson at the end was a pretty good show out of them on that last map for Animus. And if you're going that double sniper you were saying, that should give him a lot of space, especially on that first point defense, to kind of make a lot more damage for the team, make some space. But you see him opening on the Torb again, but it is a good map here on the Torb. I know Torb is one of Crimson's better heroes. Crimson being a Harmony tier player last season, moving up to the Discord tier, believing for overtime, I believe, in the beginning of this season, moving up to the Transcendence tier. So pretty impressive movement there. Kind of cool to see, our system here in the Tranquility community with players starting in lower tiers, getting better and moving up the ladder and along with us through our tiers. So cool to see that in action. Gonna see that Torb out of them again. Pretty much the same composition I think we saw out of Rebellion here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that comp's always been really strong on this map.
I agree with you there, and it looks like they are going to go for that distance composition, although they aren't looking to really hold the choke right here. It looks like they're going to go more bunker style, but that could end up being dangerous for them, as we see Rebellion already deathballing their way onto the high ground, looking to see if they can get that pick onto Smirk early on in the fight. But we see the rotate Ore coming out for the team, and now they're just kind of sitting there on the high ground waiting for cooldowns to recharge or whatnot, to see if they can go ahead and loop their way around for some good positioning right there. Rebellion definitely having a hard time figuring out how to engage on this, because They have the advantage, but they don't really have anybody that can do a whole lot of damage at a distance. I mean, Blight with the secondary fire could end up getting a pick, but not through all those double shields. And here it comes. Here comes the engage as the Maywall ends up going up. Separate now Kabunga from the rest of the team, but the lamp goes up, trying to protect them as much as possible. Trey goes and ends up getting the pick onto Kabunga, as well as taking down Smirk right there, as the stun ends up coming in to take Crimson out as well. First tick Ore captured on the objective with 2 minutes 50 seconds remaining on the clock, and it looks like this is going to go ahead and go to the side of Rebellion, giving them an extra 3 minutes on the clock. We're going to be seeing them coming in with 5 minutes 40 seconds on the clock to take objective Bravo.
That's right. Good job from them there. They waited for their cooldowns. They didn't push through. They made sure that they had their shields back before they went in. And then a big wall from Blight was able to separate Kabunga out, pulled a lot of resources out of Animus. Kabunga dying early in that fight. It was tough on the side of Animus. They were doing all the right rotations, but I think they probably should have, maybe tried to get Pro Gamer up on the high ground, trying to just poke them at the side a little bit. And you don't want to get caught out there, but it's really not going to help them too much. They're just going to sit back and not try to get a little bit of poke in during this. But already Rebellion coming right onto the point.
That's a huge Colt. Ends up getting the first pick onto Nigel as Kraken following up onto Phoenix Fire right there, and the Rock coming in takes Snowy out of the fight as well. With it being a 3v6 fight right now, it looks like we're going to go ahead and see Rebellion pull back. Trey goes and ends up falling to Kraken there at the end, though, and we see the Sonic arrow right there detecting the other two. But that's a
nice.
huge pick right there, staggering Blight with that headshot. And with 4.5 minutes remaining on the clock, we're going to see them come in for another push.
Yeah, good job there from Animus. I didn't have to use any ultimates in that fight to end up winning. Now they're going to have 5 online, to 70%. Now Rebellion going to have ults here as well. Interesting to see if they're going to try to open up with that Blizzard or maybe try to get a Shatter themselves, or if they're just going to try to take a dry fight here and bait out some of these Animus ultimates. But you got to be expecting at least maybe the Dragon opening up here with Pro Gamer. Been sitting on that here since I think about the end, their first point, ended up getting that for them. But interesting rotation on the side of Rebellion, taking down that turret. Yeah,
I know. I am continually interested by the rotations that we're seeing coming out here. Oh, it's the Dragon Strike. Ends up picking off Nigel. Just not enough defense for them to be able to hold on to that as they start engaging onto the objective. We see Pro Gamer and Kraken going ahead and pulling at it. We see the Gravitic Flux come in, ends up getting 2, and the cleanup comes in huge. The window coming out there at the end by Smirk, but I don't think it was really needed. It was a beautiful cleanup. Another minute wasted off the clock.
Yeah, a lot of ultimates from Animus there, but I think that pull Dragon was really good for them. Rebellion not investing, so that's good. They're going to have a lot on this fight here. They're going to have the Blizzard, they're going to have the Grav, High Noon will be up. Going to have that Coalescence as well, as we've seen Phoenix Fire being so strong with tonight. But they got to be able to see how is the Zen ultimate going to work here. Are they going to use it to try to stack the Grav here? Are they going to use it to try to stop the Blizzard? Smirk's going to have to be smart here with this Immortality field as well. But if Crimson can get a big ult out early on, they should be able to hold this fight here. Having that supercharger with Kabunga is going to be really beneficial for them as well. They're going to push right in.
Yep, they're leading in with the Coalescence as Bongos ends up coming out from Kabunga, ends up immediately getting taken out. Transcendence, Blizzard countering one another, but it's not going to be soon enough as the Deadeye ends up taking down Smirk and Pro Gamer. It's a trade for lives on the objective right now. The only one living right now is Mammoth, but will end up getting taken out by Nigel there in the end. 2 ticks right now on the objective as we see Smirk re-engaging as the Lucio. Now we're seeing Pro Gamer on that Genji just being able to touch as they move their way in. Kabunga now coming in on the Winston, looking to see if they can hold on if at all possible, but everyone is getting melted. And with 2 minutes, 8 seconds on the clock, we will see round 1 be completed by Rebellion.
Yeah, 2:08's a good time for them. Animus was able to shed 3 minutes off the clock there at the end after a pretty decent fast first take there. So gonna be Animus really has to be able to kind of match this time here, obviously, because if you're looking at about 2 minutes that they had there on the that initial defensive hold, they're going to be looking for something obviously longer than that if they want to end up getting a win out of this. So they're going to have to make this pretty quick here. Normally, I would think, because I know a lot of the players on Animus work really well on a lot of dive heroes, so it's probably a little tough for them not being able to play a lot of those heroes this week. Not being able to have Ana in your games kind of officially takes Genji out of your lineups a little bit. It's kind of hard to really get value out of Genji if you don't have a Nano Blade available. You're going to see them opening on attack like they're going to be using that double shield again. It looks like the same exact composition so far. On the defense from Rebellion, you see them busting out the double shield now with that Hanzo and the Torb. Mercy with the Phoenix Fire over on the Moira again, so a lot of healing output for them. Oh no, switching now over to the Baptiste. I do like the Baptiste pick there as well. So pretty much, I think mirror compositions, except we do see, I think it's Mammoth over on the Zenyatta here. We'll have the damage boost on the side of Rebellion. The Mercy's nice, can fly around between the high grounds back and forth here on each side while still getting the damage boost. So understandable why they're not running the Zenyatta obviously on defense, but maybe we'll see how this. We see what they're holding differently here with their double shield. They're holding on the back right of point, a lot more space for them to get damage out early on in this fight, even if Animus takes.
And that's a huge amount of damage already coming out right there. As we see the rock from Snowy ends up getting a hit. Oh, but the Halt ends up bringing Trigozin down to the low ground, but will end up getting the pick onto Kabunga as Pro Gamer ends up trading there for Blight. It's a 5v5 fight now as they're looking to continue to engage on the objective right now, but the res coming in for Blight going to go ahead and cancel out that kill, and they can't seem to make their way into the objective just yet. As they go ahead and move their way onto the high ground, we're going to see Rebellion moving in, trying to bunker down there on the large health pack, as Phoenix Fire able to get that pick on the Torb turret. A little bit extra damage getting taken out there. It's a huge Halt rock coming in, looking to take down Snowy, but it's just a little bit unsuccessful, and Blight immediately deleted by the Sonic Arrow of Pro Gamer right there, looking to see if they can continue to move in, but the res comes in from Yulon once again. Now the lamp is up, holding those bunkers together right now as Crimson and Kraken taking them out. They're pushing into Objective Alpha right now. 2 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. Here comes the window, looking to see if it can delete some damage. And now Pro Gamer coming online with the Dragon Strike, looking to see if they can make some damage in the backline. Ends up taking down Blight, looking to see if he can get a second kill, but will be unsuccessful as Blight ends up taking down Crimson in return. We also see the beautiful Molten Core come out on the objective, and that ends up solidifying things for the side of Rebellion. Just beautiful timing. The bongos also giving some additional damage, probably unneeded though there at the end. And with 2 minutes already off the clock, Animus has got to figure out what they're going to do this next push.
Yeah, it was a very long fight for them. That initial fight, they lost Kabunga early, and they were just playing for pokes for a while till he got back. But 2 minutes gone. They have a lot of ultimates still available, but Nigel up to 40% again on the Torb ultimate, with Crimson only at 75 to his first. They did use a supercharger and both tank ultimates on the side of Rebellion that fight. They're gonna have the lift here from Kraken available. You got to see Pro Gamer still having that Dragon Strike as well, looking for another full dragon maybe once the side of Rebellion steps back up. You're expecting to open with that here, but it looks like the full dragon coming the other way first out of Rebellion.
That is true. Doesn't end up getting value due to the lamp being up as they go ahead and try to move their way in. Sonic Arrow coming in, looking to see if they can get that damage. The Dragon Strike ends up getting one as the Gravita Clutch follows up with another Kraken, and Pro Gamer looking to see if they can get those picks, but the res coming in from Uri ends up getting the res back in on Snowy, but will get taken down by Kraken. The bongos now being popped out, looking to see if it can get some additional damage in on the objective. That Torb turret still fighting strong, but will end up getting taken down by Crimson as well as Snowy to Crimson's Torb turret right there. With only 50 seconds remaining on the clock, they will go ahead and grab Objective Alpha, get an additional 3 minutes, and move to Objective Bravo.
Yeah, good job out of Animus. The pull lift with the dragon combo worked really well for them there. Did you see the Rebellion gonna have the ultimate advantage here, so gonna be tough for Animus to take a quick win here. They do have the ultimate out of Crimson, maybe want to use that, and I would guess switch off after this maybe Torb not being as strong at the second point. Oh, that's unfortunate. So.
That is going to be a huge pick there at the beginning, and looking in the chat right now, it looks like we're getting some information that this team for Animus has only been together since week 5 due to their captain and general manager leaving the team. So
yes,
the synergy that we are seeing coming out from Animus, although a little sloppy at times, I think is pretty good for a team that hasn't been together for very long.
Very good. Kraken, a little insight on him. I've played with him in the last 2 seasons. He's a Genji main and has been. And this season picking up the tank for their team. You see the lift though coming out early.
Woo! And that Transcendence saving the day right there from Mammoth as they go ahead and work their way in. The crossing of the streams with the molten cores right there end up getting a pick onto Nigel, but the Dragon Strike out from Blake ends up taking down Kraken in the end. Bongo's still holding up right now on the objective as we hit the 2-minute 30-second mark. A majority of the side of Rebellion still holding strong as they look for the re-engage. Here comes the window, ends up getting the pick. Double pick coming in from Pro Gamer as we now see the Dragon Strike working its way into the spawn. Pro Gamer picking off one after another right now, just doing an amazing amount of damage. And wow, 2 minutes even for both teams. I had a match earlier today that was exactly the same way. That's incredible.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that. That's cool. I wasn't expecting Animus to get the take that quick. They did a really good job. That ultimate Crimson on the Torb came back to bite me there and did a great job for them opening up that fight. And whoa, nice job there from Animus. 2 minutes each way now. You saw 2 minutes is what it initially took for Rebellion to basically get the first take. Initially, Animus, I think it was about 3 minutes as well. So you're gonna hope Animus can maybe do a little bit faster of attack here, and Rebellion gonna have to do something similar as well on their attack. You see Animus opening up on, I think, the same defense hold here. You do see Mammoth still on the Zenyatta, not running the Mercy, unlike Rebellion's defensive hold. Rebellion going with that same attack composition we saw on the control points. Blight on that Mei, Nigel there over on the McCree. Phoenix Fire, of course, sticking over with the Moira as well. Animus, you know, they're going to be holding a little differently here, starting up. No, they're going to hold bottom left again still here. You see Smirk going to be up here on that high ground on the Baptiste, trying to get a bit of damage here. But they really got to make sure that they're either trying to get a little bit of more poke onto Rebellion if they do this full rotate around side again, or something, because Rebellion was able to get the cooldowns, and a good wall there from Blight was basically able to still split the side of Animus up.
I agree with you there. I do want to let people know in the chat, the audio is just a little bit behind because we are watching literally the exact same stream you are right now. And so we're just a little bit behind, but hopefully it's still enjoyable with the tournament that we did earlier this week, helping out another organization. We couldn't get to this video in time to pre-record the casting for it, so hopefully you'll enjoy the video as much as we are, because this is the first time I've seen it as well, so I'm really interested to see how it ends up going down. A minute 15 already off the clock as we see the same rotation coming out from Rebellion. It's not like we were surprised by this at all. As they go ahead and come in for the engage, Crimson immediately picking off Trigosan as they go ahead and fall down, but Blight returning the favor onto Pro Gamer. Kabunga following up on Snowy as they continue to move their way in. The Lamp holding everything together right now is a 3v5 on the objective right now. Nigel sitting on that high ground looking to see if they can get back with the rest of the team, as Phoenix Fire just trying to wraith out of there as quickly as possible. It looks like they're going to go ahead and continue to hold right now. Uri also saying on the high ground, it's like Rebellion is literally Rebellion against getting together as a team right now. They're staying all over the map as we now see them engage with the Coalescence now that the rest of the team is back together. They're looking to see if they can make their way into that bunker. Crimson ends up losing the turret there at the end as the window now coming out from Smirk, but they can't get out to engage the objective. Now that the window is down, they have to find a way to make the damage hold, but Blight bringing out the Blizzard. Crimson ends up taking them down in the beginning of that, but Nigel comes in, cleaning it up with the help of Snowy, and it looks like that is going to be all she wrote. Win overtime. They will take Objective Alpha, get an extra 30 seconds, and Rebellion will have a chance to take Objective Bravo.
Yeah, so close to getting that Transcendence up on the side of Mammoth for Animus. That could have maybe helped them win the fight there, but they are going to have that up for Snowy's grab. Snowy's still going to have a lot of energy from that last fight. Should be able to build it here for them. Crimson also going to have the Torb ultimate here as well, so that should hopefully stop this fight for them. But got to watch out for Nigel's High Noon. Nigel did a lot of good there on that last point. And High Noon, I think it was that won them that initial attack, taking on 2 last time. They're looking for the same thing out of here. And watch the Shatter here from Try.
All right, we see it come out as well as the Gravitic Flux, raising them up, but ends up putting the High Noon in a really odd position, not able to get the value that they were looking for. We see now the Molten Core coming out, able to get some damage on it, but does not get the picks. It's all coming up Rebellion. 2 ticks on the objective right now as the Graviton now coming to hold Kraken in place as they fly in on that Hammond. They're going to go ahead and grab objective 2 right there, making it 4-2 as they head into round 4.
Yeah, good job from Rebellion coming in there. I think it was pretty similar on the ult advantage. Animus a bit of going into that fight, but Rebellion used their ults really well there towards the end. Forced out a lot of the cooldowns on Animus, split them up. That Mei still showing how powerful Mei is. Just throwing a wall on point is just such a great cooldown to have for positioning to really push teams to where you want them. So Animus has got to take another fast take here and be able to take the second point as well if they want to stay in it here on Volskaya Industries. You're going to see them, looks like opening again on that double shield. Look at the same comps out of both teams here. Animus really seeming to like the Zenyatta pick. Gonna be basically the mirror matchup here, except we do see the over as Mei Torb on the defense here now, not running the Hanzo. Pro Gamer gonna have a little bit of high ground advantage they'll be able to take advantage of here on this first point. Still running the Mercy. I like that pick a lot here. Having that res potential is very strong for them, as well as just the damage boost onto that Torb and onto Snowy, the tanks, you just name it. I don't think there's ever going to be a bad time to have a damage boost coming out from your Mercy there. Going to be holding on the right side again. A little harder now that they don't have the Hanzo, which I think they initially had on that first attack to get a lot of damage in. But that turret will have lots of space for them, and hope they're going to try to be getting that ult up from Nigel pretty quickly.
All right, let's go ahead and see if they can make it happen. We're just seeing deja vu of round 2 all over again as Pro Gamer ends up getting the pick onto Nigel's turret to start that out. But we see already Crimson's turret doing way more damage. Will end up falling there to Trigosen there in the end. The rock comes out, doesn't end up getting a pick right there though, as Uri ends up finding themselves discorded right there, trying to hold on as we see Blight immediately getting taken out as they emerge from the ice skull right there. Even gets canceled out from Uri's res by Pro Gamers. They move their way into Objective Alpha. It looks like they're going to end up getting the first tick, but the fight is still continuing onward as we see the Torb turret going back up onto the high ground. They're trying to bunker in on the objective. They end up getting the first tick, but Trigosen will end up taking down Kabunga. Snowy following up on Kraken, and that is all she wrote for that push, folks. 50 seconds remaining on the clock as they prepare to take Objective Alpha again.
Yeah, big ult out of Phoenix Fire with that window early on. Just enough damage for them. Blight going down early again, so not going to be close to the Blizzard, but they will have the Torbjorn ultimate as well with both tank ultimates on the side of Rebellion. Smirk up to the window as well on the side of Animus. Crimson, you got to expect going to get close to the Torbjorn ult with how much damage they were able to pull out last fight. But it's really going to come down, I think, to how quickly the Animus can really survive these initial ultimates from the side of Rebellion, because they should have the advantage if they're able to hold through a little bit here.
And that is a huge Gravitic Flux coming in right there. Blight and Nigel cleaning it up with the Molten Core. And that secondary shot, the Maywall keeping them out right now. 5 seconds remaining on the clock, but they're not going to be able to get back. It was a beautiful team kill for the side of Rebellion as they go ahead and make it 2-0 here on Volskaya Industries.
Yeah, great job to Rebellion. I think they held that defense perfectly. Animus took an interesting path, kind of pushing right underneath Rebellion on that defensive, on that attack push there, excuse me, at the end. Trying to win through with their added shield break that they had with that Hanzo and the Zenyatta, but able to get that initial pick. Weren't able to follow up on the rest. Rebellion kind of came back in together and were ready for it. As soon as they were just ready for it, it's really the big difference you saw. They held well, they used their ultimates, and when they needed to, they comboed perfectly, and looking really strong. Definitely a lot of teamwork. I think still impressive to see out of Animus so far. Its team's gone through a lot this season. I think they're had the second most different roster transactions going through. I know currently they're running with, I think it's a starting lineup of 3 DPS, 2 support, and 1 off tank. So a lot of things for them to be working on so far compared to what I've seen earlier out of them. I think they've improved quite a bit and should only get better here as time goes on for them, as they keep working the synergy up.
I definitely concur. Well, we'll go ahead and shoot this to a 10-minute halftime. Go ahead, get yourself a drink, use the restroom, whatever it is you need to do. I would also recommend hitting that heart and punching that bell so you get notified every time we're online. You can also hit that sub button, $4.99 or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription. We'll give you access to some awesome emotes and support our amazing community. Overwatch Tranquility will be back in about 10 minutes. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another amazing match here at Overwatch Tranquility. We have got in the Transcendence tier Animus versus Rebellion right now. Rebellion sitting up 2-0 after the half. I'm your play-by-play for the evening, Captain Jack, joined by Booth coming in on the color. How was your halftime, Booth?
It's good. Pet my cats for a bit. Got some water. I don't know if there's anything else you really need.
No, I did just
Pretty
about the
good.
same, except for the not the cats part.
Water's good.
Yeah, the water is good. The water is indeed good. Well, we're going to be moving on to our hybrid map next, Blizzard World, which, let me just say, I love that it's back in the comp rotation. I hate that no one knows how to play it. That's literally what it comes down to. It's the most beautiful map to just watch and play on, but literally, like, no one knows how to play Blizzard World because it's been out of the rotation for so long. So I'm hoping that we're gonna see some incredible gameplay coming out here. Do you think, Booth, that Animus has a chance to bring it back in the second half?
I definitely think they have a chance to maybe take a map point here off Rebellion. I think their double shield will work well for them here on Blizzard World. Good choice from them to go over to this map. Always been strong again on this map in general. And of course, Torb always being another good Torb map, as we've seen them liking to run so far, with Torb being pretty prevalent right now in the meta. So that's a strong defensive pick for them. They're going to be defending first, I believe. So actually, Crimson opening up on that McCree, it looks like, going with the Rein Zarya. So not opting with the double shield right now. We see Rebellion kind of running a mirror competition here, except you see it explode 1,000 over on the Mei, while we have Pro Gamer over on the Hanzo. Pro Gamer's done great tonight on the Hanzo so far, and I can see that coming really helpful for them early on. You see him on this high ground here, trying to get some poke damage in when the side of Rebellion pushes up. But interesting to see. I'm excited to see Animus do another map here on this Rein Zarya. I haven't seen tons of it tonight. I know Kraken actually was back in Season 2 Illusion for us. He was our Zarya player back during the GOATS meta, which we won't talk about. So actually kind of fun to see him back on the Zarya again. Yeah.
Ooh. Well, we see Pro Gamer Ore trying to work in that backline right there. Ends up getting the first pick onto Phoenix Fire. With that heals down, it's going to be really hard for them to continue pushing, and the aggression coming out from Animus right now, looking to see if they can get an additional pick. They will end up being unsuccessful as Rebellion goes ahead and pulls back, shaving 40 seconds off that time bank.
Good job there for Pro Gamer. That's kind of the difference you see a lot with some of our tier matches, is that sometimes when the main support goes down in the Discord V tier, and as a Discord tier player myself, I can say this, we don't. But in Transcendence, you lose that main support. Not a chance. You can't win a fight not having your Moira or having whatever person you're gonna have.
Ooh, that Maywall comes up huge though. Pro Gamer able to take down Nigel, but not before Cowabunga ends up falling there in the fight. Dragon Strike coming out, but a little bit too late as they go ahead and speed right past it. We're going to see Uri end up go ahead moving their way in, looking to see if they can get those picks along with the rest of the team. Snowy cleaning it up as Pro Gamer able to take down Uri right there, but not going to be enough for them to hold out. Looking to see if they can get Explode on the high ground, who's swapped in as the Mei for this round. Smirk going to end up falling right there, adding to 5 minutes now to their time bank as Pro Gamer ends up getting taken down there in the end.
Oh yeah, late stagger there on the Mammoth wall on the Lucio. Animus has to run back here. No speed boost to try to get these tanks away, so hopefully they don't get farmed here too much. It looks like they are going to be able to get fully back, but Rebellion tanks are taking a lot of positioning early on. And actually, before Kraken DMs me, he was our Brig player. He wanted to be our Zarya player, but I forced him to play Brig. Back when Brig wasn't as fun. So I'm sure he's happy he gets to actually play the Zarya now for Animus.
Oh, I can imagine. Pro Gamer ends up getting that first pick on the Nigel yet again, and there they go, moving in the Shatter. Coming in for both Kabunga and Trigozin, looking to see if they can follow up on it. Smirk ends up getting the pick onto Trigozin as they move in and take down Explode as well. 4 minutes remaining on the clock as the payload stalled at 66 meters.
Yeah, maybe didn't want to use both of their tank ultimates on the side of Animus. They were getting close to the Dragon Strike from Pro Gamer as well. But Kraken gonna have the energy, gonna try to be able to farm that up quickly in this fight, hopefully again for them. Smirk gonna have that window as well. They're gonna have that available for their team. Maybe try to get a knee fire strike in, or Crimson trying to get some damage in with it as well.
Ooh, but the window comes up early, but ends up getting literally stomped on as Rebellion just walks right past it. Nigel getting the double kill on the Smirk and Crimson as they go ahead and move their way onto the objective, getting picks left and right, and it looks like the last one to fall will be Kraken. 3 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock as Animus prepares for another defense.
Yeah, great job there from Nigel. I think picking up 4 kills in that fight, and now they're gonna have 4 pretty big ultimates on the side of Rebellion here. They're gonna have the Blizzard, and they're gonna have the Zarya and Graviton Surge here as well. They're gonna throw out the grab early too.
There it goes, but the lamp can save the day right there as the Shatter comes out once again from Kabunga, looking to see if they can hold it together. The High Noon and Blizzard coming out now from Nigel and Explode, looking to see if they can clean up. Will end up being successful right there. Nigel with the double kill there at the end. They will go ahead and grab objective number 2, giving them 4 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock to move into objective 3.
Yeah, that's a lot of time there. And oh, it looks like some of the staggers hopefully trying to get away from Animus. Some of them getting spawned close. Looks like they are able to get away, so they won't be staggered, which is good. But Rebellion taking a pretty aggressive stance here, waiting with 1 here on cart. You see Pro Gamer getting so low on the Hanzo, is able to get back up. But Rebellion going to start using ultimates with the Coalescence already.
Here we go. Maywall coming up as the lamp comes up to try to save the day. Looking to see if they can keep Kabunga in the fight, and will end up being successful as Kraken, returning the favor, ends up taking down Fire. Crimson following up onto Snowy as well. It is a 4v5 fight right now. Make that 3v5 as Kabunga ends up taking down Tragosan with that fire strike. The Maywall ends up coming up, separating out the team, but the pick will come in from Kraken on to Explode regardless. 3 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, Rebellion was pushing in way early when they were pushing up to the spawn of Animus there. And I think the flashbang of Crimson stunned Tragosan there enough on the Reinhardt. Didn't stop the Shatter, but I think it was enough to really push Rebellion back. They disengaged soon afterwards. So good job there from Animus. They do have the graph here, getting close to the Dragon. Maybe gonna try to combo that here in this fight. Rebellion only really having the Noon, getting close to that Blizzard though. And of course getting Snowy, getting close again on the grab as well. You see Tragosan getting really low in that fight though. A lot of damage coming out from Animus.
That is true. They're trying to fight their way back onto the cart and being successful right now. Explode coming up on that Blizzard as Snowy getting ready to have that grab, ready to throw out right there. Kabunga, oh, but the grab comes out from Kraken first, along with the Dragon Strike. It is a beautiful cleanup right there as Kabunga stealing all those kills with that big old hammer. And we'll go ahead and clear the cart once again. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock.
Oh, big grab there. Caught everyone they needed to catch. The beat wasn't up for Rebellion yet. Rebellion going to have four coming up on 5 ults here, but 4 ults for Animus as well. Maybe Crimson's got to get a good high noon here, a good window out of Smirk. It's an interesting position, trying to take a little bit of a different flank for them here, too.
Ooh, the high noon comes up early. Doesn't end up getting a whole lot of value. Shatter coming out to counter the Graviton that comes out, and now it's Beat versus Blizzard and Coalescence, and Kabunga is swinging around, trying to get some damage, gets the double, makes that a triple as they take Explode out of the fight as well. And that is going to be another clear of the objective. Uri last to fall to Mammoth Gamer with 1 minute, 40 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, good job there from Animus. They did use, I think they used all their ultimates in that fight. Rebellion also investing a lot as well. They're going to have a Shatter and the Beat here as well. Kraken getting close to another grab here, already back up to 70. So maybe you're going to see him using that here in this fight. A minute 20 though, Animus in a pretty good spot to hold this here. They can cycle through their ultimates pretty quick here. Kabunga hopefully can get another grab, another Shatter here off the grab from Kraken.
Oh, but that Maywall is huge as Tragosan ends up taking down Crimson early in the fight. Explode following up onto Kraken. They're clearing the objective, and it's making its way into objective number 3. They can't touch it in time with 1 minute and 3 seconds left on the clock. Rebellion will go ahead and grab objective 3 before round 2.
Yeah, that beat on the side of Rebellion gave them a lot of space to push in with. They weren't as worried about taking damage early on. Didn't have to worry about shields or a slow-moving Reinhardt, and pushed right through the point there just before Animus could start getting their ultimates off. But 1 minute 3 is not bad considering it was about 5 minutes left there as soon as they capped second point. So taking 4 minutes off is good for them. You've seen that at Animus both times. I think it was like 4.5, almost 5 minutes again. on that Volskaya second point hold. They ended up shaving down to about 2 minutes. So doing good so far in these final point defenses. Their defense seeming to be pretty strong here. I think their offense is going to be up next for them here. Going to be trying to get another quick take. You're going to see, it looks like a pretty similar composition here. Smirk on the Moira now instead of the Baptiste. You can see Rebellion pulling out the double shield comp here, going with the Torb and the Hanzo, pulling out that Mercy there that they seem to be running here on the defense. It's worked pretty well for them here so far. It's really going to be up to how much damage Animus can mitigate before they get forward. Can they get forward without getting a pick and then not get picked while they're waiting for those cooldowns and shields to recharge? Rebellion looks like they might be setting up on top of point here. You're going to maybe expect Explode 1000 to try to get a lot of damage into this long walk that Animus has up to get to point.
I'm guessing so, and it's really going to give them a lot of room to work as well. Because without having a defense, really, if they end up losing that fight on Objective Alpha, that's going to be it. Like, they're going to end up grabbing it and starting that payload push. And we already see the pick coming in from Trigozan, following up on Pro Gamer right as soon as they get around the statue right there. Not a good position to be in, but it looks like the rest of the team going to go ahead and set up there on the little Eagle cart area, trying to see if they can essentially flank around that entire side, get on that high ground, and see if they can take out Rebellion where they stand. They are moving in that 5v6. Kraken ends up getting the first pick onto the Torb turret as Nigel now popping the overdrive, looking to see if they can get some additional damage in on the team. Will end up being unsuccessful. The high ground continues to hold as we now see Pro Gamer getting back into the fight, looking to see if they can get a pick around that shield. Nigel currently sitting on the low ground, going to be joined by Snowy as they get taken down by Kraken. Can't suck up that laser, folks. It's just impossible as Yurkai ends up falling to Pro Gamer right there. 2 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock, and the Coalescence coming in to clean everything up with Cowabunga's big old hammer and Pro Gamer's arrows. That's going to go ahead and give them Objective Alpha with 5 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock.
Great job there from Animus. Perfect rotation for them going up to the high ground. They waited till Pro Gamer came back from spawn and had that kind of side angle to be shooting at point, and then forced Rebellion up, used their cooldowns, pulled out back to point, held underneath, and then Rebellion had to choose either to keep giving up point progress or fall to point, and chose to let some progress go by, and then I think it was Snowy ended up falling down onto point. Died pretty quickly, so good job there from Animus, doing all the right rotations for them. Again, Rebellion now going to almost flipping spawns with them, coming up from the high ground and now behind onto Animus.
That is definitely an interesting position to take there, but they have the Lucio to make it happen. They're moving in. Dragon Strike coming in along with the Gravitic Flux. Ends up getting to Kabunga, taking them down after their Gravitic goes down. Pro Gamer following up on a double of their own, and Kabunga finishing it up there with another double. And that's going to give them the cart and 4 minutes on the clock to push into Objective 2.
I don't think they were expecting the Pro Gamer to be back towards spawn there. That Dragon was big for them. Kabunga getting a massive, I think 3 or 4 kills there at the end. Now they're going to have the grab in this fight here. Smirk also going to have the Coalescence. Going to be opening up with that here, trying to get through this Torball from Nigel.
Yep, Coalescence versus Molten Core right now as Trigosan ends up getting the first pick onto Crimson right there. And it looks like the Molten Core will end up taking Pro Gamer there in the end, as well as Kabunga. And that's going to go ahead and clear the cart right there. Only about 40 seconds shaved off of the time bank, but plenty of time to push it that additional couple of meters.
That they do. Crimson going to have the high noon here. Kabunga back up to almost another shatter again, building this up basically every other fight. You're going to see probably trying to get high ground is what you want to expect here out of Crimson, to try to get a little bit of space. But Rebellion doing a good job already holding up here, denying a lot of that space for them. Going to try to force Animus to take the low ground approach in. Pro Gamer trying to get a pick here up top. Not even the front of the end. Oh, poor oh, no.
That is not a good way to start. Trigozan getting the first pick onto Kabunga with the tackle, and that is all falling down right there. Team kill ringing out loud as they go ahead and clear Animus from the choke door right there. 2 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, big kill there. Just a free shatter lined up for them. But Animus not investing anything in the fight, so they are going to have a lot of ult pushing in here. 75 on a couple ults here. We're still with the high noon and the shatter. They're going to do a quick rotation there with the speed boost there from Mammoth. I like that. Switch over there to the shield.
All right, let's go ahead and see if they can make it happen. Crimson does have the high noon online, but the Blizzard coming out early, looking to see if they can get that pick. Nigel will take down Pro Gamer right there, so it's already a 5v6 fight as they look to move in and get the hit. The Deadeye now coming out from Crimson doesn't manage to get any value due to that May wall right there. Snowy and Nigel able to follow up onto Smirk and Kabunga, and again, they're just going to go ahead and chase down the rest of Animus right there with 2 minutes now on the clock. Animus has got to figure out how they're going to switch up their strategy.
Yeah, they got to figure something out quick here. Rebellion, a lot of ultimates. You see them holding still in this good position here. They have the grab, have High Noon, Shatter, and the Coalescence, but Grab Dragon online for Animus. No beat or anything really counteracting here for them. It's got to be massive out of the side of Kraken.
All right, well, the Graviton does end up coming out as we see the first pick come in from Snowy, taking Kraken out of the fight, and it looks like they're just going to clean up from there. Nigel with the double kill as Snowy and Explode end up getting some picks of their own. Try goes in the last one to take down Pro Gamer right there. Another 40 seconds shaved off the clock.
Just a couple, like I think it was like couple percentage off from Kraken of getting that grab out first. So now they really need to win this here because ultimates are starting to come back online for Rebellion. They still have 3 left here, but Animus taking a different approach now, just going to try to skip past a lot of the poke that Rebellion had and going straight to point.
Well, it might be smart. Let's see if they can get the grab onto the high ground right there before they drop down. Rebellion trying to hold on to that low ground as the Maywall comes out to separate. There it comes, and a big old shatter coming in from Trigozin as the Graviton now coming out in return, looking to see if it can hold on. Shatter coming out from Kabunga, but gets nothing but shield, and Trigozin giving Kabunga a face full of Fire Strike in return. 2 ultimates down, and another 40 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, weren't able to follow with the Grab Dragon for the side of the Animus. Definitely unfortunate for them. Crimson back up to the noon, though. They used the beat, was perfectly timed there from Mammoth last fight, but now they got to be careful because they do have Blizzard for Rebellion is going to be up. They're going to have that High Noon and the Blizzard. There's only 15 seconds left for Tomb. It's going to be hard for them to push this here 30 seconds.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. 10 seconds remaining on the clock. The Blizzard coming down from Explode, looking to see if they can fight out the Kabunga right there, but the Coalescence coming to save the day from Smirk, trying to keep them in the fight. No, Trey goes and still gets them, but Crimson with the double Deadeye in the back line, looking to see if they can continue to clean it up. That payload's moving, overtime ticking away right now, as is Trigozin looking to see if they can hold the objective on their own as Kraken gets the double kill. It looks like the stagger coming in as Mammoth ends up getting the kill on their stun, comes in, prevents the Yokai from touching the objective. They will grab objective number 2 and move their way into objective 3.
Yeah, good job from Animus. That was seemed like a lost fight there at the end. The wall from Explode 1000 blocked off a lot of the High Noon that was going to be available. Crimson still ended up getting a double kill out of it, coming in absolutely clutch for at the end for their team. And now Animus is going to have to try to take a pretty early fight there. Ooh, a little overextension from Kraken.
Yeah, Kraken was just a little too far forward. Got a face full of Fire Strike from Trigozin, but Trigozin looking to fall here shortly. Oh, but Nigel ends up taking down Kabunga instead. They're going to go ahead and clean up the cart once again, it seems, but they're right outside the spawn doors of Animus. Animus can definitely bring a quick return for this next fight.
Yeah, they're going to have to. They definitely didn't want to have their first fight go that way. They wanted to probably still lose the fight early, but try to build some ultimates. Rebellion didn't have to use anything that fight. Now they're going to have 6 ultimates basically here on this last defensive. So as long as they don't throw them all in right away, they should be able to hold this here.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. Here comes the Graviton. The Maywall tries to separate out, but they can't make it happen. Deadeye gets triple there for Nigel as they go ahead and clear up the point. But with 10 seconds remaining, they have enough time to touch if everyone spawns in the same way. Already we see Nigel chasing down Spurt, ends up getting the pick there in the beginning. 2 seconds remaining on the clock. Crimson able to touch there at the end. Graviton coming in with the Blizzard, double Blizzard on the objective. Everyone's going to be frozen out right there, but it looks like the kills are coming up. Crimson and Pro Gamer looking absolutely beautiful right right now as they continue to hold on to this objective. Now we're seeing Smirk looking to come in. Crimson is popping off right now. Clears the objective of all Rebellion as overtime ticks away.
Crimson already back to 50% on the noon again. Those DPS for Animus have been massive for them so far in this game. No ultimate's going to be on really either side here. You're going to see Coalition side of Rebellion eventually up to 70 now for it. But Animus has got to take a really clean fight here, regroup as 6 as they have, and win this one early because they're really just pushing for the overtime here. They need to cap this point to try to contest this again.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. Oh, nope, shield going down. That's not going to be good. Maywall comes up and goes and finalizing the kill onto Kabunga once again, following up onto Smirk, and it's all over, folks. The Maywall separates out the team from the cart, and Rebellion takes it away 3-0 here on Blizzard World.
The May doing really good job there at the end. Not having any ultimates online, but plug-in is just split apart the side of Animus, and you see the play of the game from Phoenix Fire again here on the Moira. Kind of insane how much healing and damage able to get out here with some of these coalescents.
No, and it's absolutely beautiful. That lineup right there was just exactly what they needed to make it happen. Now, just playing for pride and a point to go in the hat, we're going to be headed to our escort map next. Feel free to hit that heart and punch that bell at the top of your screen so you're notified every time that we're online. We will give you the updated schedule for next week at the end of this. But if you got that bell pressed, you'll just get notifications on your phone or your laptop or your computer or wherever you get your announcements from Twitch. So be sure to do that as we go ahead and prepare for our final map. Booth, do you think that Animus has a chance to at least take this final map?
I think it's going to depend on their pick here. They can go with either Dorado or Junkertown. So what we've kind of seen out of them so far, I think it would be really, I think the May has been kind of good here on these last couple points out of Rebellion. So trying to minimize the map pick on that maybe, and playing around the fact that they know they don't necessarily have the tank line they normally would pick just because of people playing on off roles right now. So maybe going with Junkertown. Sometimes having a DPS player playing either on that Sigma or on the Roadhog seems to work well. The Zarya was doing really well for the last map, but I think Junkertown would be a good pick. Gives their DPS a little bit of space here on those initial points to make some room. You saw Pro Gamer doing a good job with the Hanzo. Might be able to see some Widowmaker out of them as well. I definitely think Animus has a chance. These have been pretty, although the scoreline showing 3-0, been pretty closely contested so far on these. It just seems like the ult usage and team coordination from Rebellion seems to be just a little more in place, which is understandable compared to Animus being a pretty new team considered with this current roster they have right now. But they are going to go to Rialto, it looks like. Still not a bad pick with them. I think that's a good one. I think Dorado would have been the wrong pick. So, interested to see what they'll have on Rialto. I think Pharmacy can be strong here on this first point as well. Maybe we'll see. I think we saw Pro Gamer do a little bit of fire on the first map here. Might see a little bit of that. Some room here for some Lucios to have a little bit of fun on that second point, trying to get some boops there on their bridges. So I'm sure they'll be looking forward to that one there. But double shield is still being pretty good for them. I think that's when we've seen Animus doing well when it's a double shield mirror matchup so far. So you could see them opening. They're on escort always being a little bit better, having that moving little escort cart there with you to put your Risa shield on. So hopefully escort's the map here for them to maybe get a point back for them. It's going to be important for every team to get every map they can. Both teams after this will be playing against Orbit and Corvidity, the other two teams here in this tier. So everything they can get off of each other so far is going to be big for them.
All right, well, let's go ahead and see if they can make it happen. I do agree that double shield could absolutely be huge there for them on the defense, because I've seen so many lockouts here on Rialto with just Farah, Orisa, and Lucio just booping everyone off of that first bridge over and over and over again. And if they can make that happen pretty sequentially, then they've got nothing to worry about. They have to move the cart maybe, 10, 15 meters, and then that's it. So, I mean, they definitely can make it happen. It looks like we are going to see a little bit of that. Pro Gamer and Mammoth coming out with the Farah Mercy, so we're going to see some boots from there. Kabunga has had some huge pulls, usually 5-6-man pulls over and over again on previous maps. So if they can do that, but just make sure it's over the water, we're going to be seeing Rebellion jumping in without some swim trunks a lot of this map.
That's a cool positioning that Pro Gamer's taking right there. I haven't seen that.
Ooh, it's a huge boop, and they end up getting the first pick onto Nigel right there, but everyone else is not anywhere close to the bridge, so that value that I thought that they were going to get off of the Arista Halt right there, just not going to end up working out for them. Trigozin ends up falling to Crimson there, and the next pick, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and hold on to this cart right now, as we see Kabunga trying to hold on, as Pro Gamer able to get that additional pick onto Nigel right there. The stun comes in. Oh, and it's a follow-up onto Explode as well. 3 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock. Snowy will fall and get staggered out as they prepare for another push.
Yeah, there was that pull you're looking for out of Kabunga. A great one coming in. Crimson getting the double kill there at the end. And now 2 ultimates up for Animus. They're going to have the Barrage, and Smirk here has the window. You see Pro Gamer in that same exact spot there, pushing on point, but Rebellion taking the right side approach here, trying to push him away a little bit. And they're going to rotate around and fight from the back now, but watch for that barrage!
And it's a huge barrage comes in. Pro Gamer gets the double, but gets taken down by the icy death of Explode right there. Nigel going to follow up onto Mammoth Gamer and Smirk as well, trying to see if they can continue to fight for control right there. Is now Explode and Snowy versus Kabunga and Kraken, and unfortunately that Maywall is just going to come up for Explode and separate the 2 of them out. Going to give them a quick and easy death there from Uri, and that's going to be another hold. 2 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock as they push in to Objective Alpha.
Yeah, so Animus should be able to recontest still. They have the lift here from Kraken. Smirk again with another window still. Crimson gonna have the high noon as well. So 2 minutes left for them. If they can keep drawing this fight out or get a win here, first point hold could be looking good here for Animus. Rebellion, just as many ultimates, if not more, online for them now. 4 up.
All right, Nigel does have the Deadeye as well, but oh, ends up getting picked off by Pro Gamer before that happens. The tackles come in on either side as Kabunga able to get Uri, but ends up getting taken down by Trigozin. In return, the fight for the objective is hot right now as Crimson ends up getting a kill. Pro Gamer following up onto Explode, and Kraken falls Trigozin there at the end. Just short of Objective 1, we will see Animus regain control with 1:30 on the clock.
Good job from Animus. Still 2 ultimates up for them, but you see just how good Rebellion is about their ultimate usage. They knew that Animus was going to be coming in using a lot of ultimates that fight. Played very well, didn't use any. Now they have 5 ultimates, almost to a 6th with the share here on the way. And it's going to be hard for Animus to win out here against all of these ultimates.
All right, the Coalescence Array coming up as Nigel pops the high noon, ends up only getting the lamp right there as Trey goes and tackles out Smirk, but the res coming in from Mammoth Gamer, able to bring him back in. Now here comes the Graviton Blizzard combo, looking to see if they can clean it up. Crimson right now fighting off the cart, but it's not going to be enough. Objective 1 will be captured by Rebellion with 3 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock.
Still good hold out of the Animus. Took a lot of time off the clock here. You can see, especially if they're able to take a good first fight here on the second, a lot of delay can come through here. And this is always a really hard point on third to push, at least in my opinion. I don't know what it will be here for these teams. So anytime they can take off has got to be a win for them. Now you see Ryan Zarya out of the side of Animus switching off of the double shield, and you're going to be matching the side of Rebellion here. But oh, that's an unfortunate pick.
Oh, that is huge right there. Mammoth Gamer already falling to Nigel, and it looks like they're going to follow up onto Pro Gamer as well. Nigel's going to go ahead and fall them, the Far Mercy, out of the fight, and Shatter now online for Tragos, and as the Maywall ends up separating out the team, we're going to see Snowy take them out. Not going to be able to get that tackle right there, as Mammoth able to get back into the fight, ends up getting the res onto Kabunga. Oh, it's a Shatter! They're not getting away, and that's going to be a double kill coming in, finalized by Phoenix Fire right there as they go ahead and grab Objective 2. 4 minutes, or 3 minutes 40 seconds rather, on the clock.
Nigel being just insane on this hit scan. Really, I mean, just gave him a whole point on just a couple of basic early picks there from the beginning on that McCree. But now Animus does shift this ult advantage back over in their favor here. Snowy going to be close to the grab here, but you're going to see an early window out of Smirk though, and the Shatter.
That is looking to get some value as they take down Phoenix Fire. Pro Gamer now coming up on the barrage, ends up getting the double right there as Kabunga following up onto Explode. It looks like Dragozin just going to go ahead and take a very quick dive into the water for that reset as we see Pro Gamer trying to get that pick onto Uri, but just holding strong on that Reddit Lucio skill right there, not able to land that final rocket. They're going to go ahead and get away. 2 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock.
Good pick though from Pro Gamer, just gonna stagger out even longer and not have. You're not gonna push into this fight here. A lot of good spam damage and space here for Pro Gamer to kind of get some picks in. That's a long walk for Rebellion to push through. It's gonna bait out some of their abilities here, but they have a lot of ultimates available in this fight. Animus is gonna have a few here. If they can get a grab off first here, they might have a chance to win this fight. Grab barrage is really big for them.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. The barrage coming in hot, ends up getting one as the follow-up damage allows them to clean up. Blizzard coming out from Explode as well, but it doesn't look like it's going to get the value it's looking for. Nigel does have the Deadeye online as Mammoth Gamer able to get a kill of their own on that Mercy, taking Snowy out of the fight. 1 minute, 50 seconds remaining as they prepare for another defense.
Yeah, good job from Animus. There's a lot of ultimates coming out both ways. It's one of the, I think it's one of the first times or so that we've seen Animus in those kind of big ult fights still coming out on top. So good job for them. Oh, what the shatter!
Oh, that's a huge Graviton coming in hot. Kabunga with the shatter as well, just to make sure they all stay in place after the Graviton wears out. That is going to be huge as they go ahead and get that team kill. 1 minute 20, or no team kill actually. It's Nigel just hanging out right there at the bottom of the stairs, waiting to use that there. Oh, the sun comes in onto Kraken, but not going to be able to finalize that kill. Only a minute left on the clock.
And Ultimate's going to be here for Animus as well. You see Pro Gamer just building up those barrages so quickly. Going to be opening with that pretty soon here, I bet. A good window out of Smirk early on, too. Going to make Rebellion kind of retake how they're holding here and push them off the cart.
All right, the Deadeye looking to come online here as Crimson ends up taking Snowy down with the Deadeye of their own. Kabunga and Smirk soon to follow, though, as Crimson able to take down Nigel before they're able to pop the Deadeye. Oh, here comes the barrage with the bubble to protect. Ends up getting a double, make that triple as Explode falls as well. They're going to go ahead and try to push Phoenix Fire off of that cart with only 30 seconds remaining. Pro Gamer ends up falling there at the end as we see Kraken trying to hold on with all their might. The res now coming in to bring Pro Gamer back into the fight. 15 seconds remaining in final fight territory.
Oh, great job there. Kraken had the bubble perfectly for Pro Gamer, and Crimson just getting the picks when they needed it. The DPS shining through again here from Animus, being able to hold the cart for them, and now they're in this last fight territory.
The Deadeye is now online. Nigel looking to see if they can get some value, but gonna end up being unsuccessful. It's a huge Graviton, the Maywall separating out everything as the Shatter looking to follow, but ends up getting froze out by Kabunga right there. Nigel will follow up that kill, taking Kabunga out of the fight. It is a 5v6 right now on the card as Kraken able to even it up by taking out Explode. They're trying to fight their way in. The cart is moving in overtime right now as they are looking to get those additional picks to get either Rebellion or Animus off of that cart. Pro Gamer getting ready to come up as the Graviton now coming out from Snowy, but the lamp saving the day, keeping them up right now as they move their way in. The beat coming in from Uriah. Shatter following up, and Pro Gamer with the barrage from behind gets the triple. Kabunga able to fall. Try goes in there at the end, and round one will be complete just short of objective 3.
And Pro Gamer and Crimson just being massive for their team there at the end. But the big one is Rebellion lost their Mei at the beginning of that fight that had Blizzard, so they didn't have an online to open up with. They've cleaned up a lot of these overtime pushes or late pushes at the end with the Mei ult, with the Zarya ult combined together, and they didn't have that available at the beginning. So really good job picking off that Mei early on, and then it was also good to see, I think the... yeah, Crimson and Pro Gamer it was. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember the names of who was played, but they're Pro Gamer doing a very good job with that fair ult at the end. The bubble's in place, doing a good job of winning that last fight and making it 10 seconds left in Rebellion, having to go in not 5v6 So good job out of the side of Animus, holding Rebellion down, and definitely have a chance to win through this one now.
I definitely can concur with you there as we continue to see them hold strong right now. It looks like they are preparing for their attack. Animus looking to do a modified dive, I guess, with the Winston Zarya right there. I mean, they could be just completely throwing us off, so I have no idea. But we'll go ahead and see what happens. It looks like that might be what they're going to stick on to, but again, we're seeing the same comp coming out from Rebellion right now as they go ahead and dive in. Mammoth gonna end up falling to explode there at the beginning of the fight. As Nigel looking to see if they can get that additional pick. Snowy will end up falling Kabunga there at the end as the rest of the team goes ahead and pulls back into spawn. It looks like they're not even worried about boops or anything. They're just gonna try to hold them at the spawn doors for 4 minutes. How successful do you think that will end up being, Booth?
Well, already it's been successful for them. They're just trying to pull time off the clock here. They obviously don't expect to be able to hold the spawn doors for 4 minutes, but just shredding off time when they know it's going to be a map that they need to push through all the way. Anytime they get off the clock will be big for them. So if they can get a whole minute off, that'd be pretty massive.
All right, the Coalescence already coming out from Phoenix Fire, and the team getting a quad kill right there. Snowy able to follow up onto Pro Gamer as the res comes in. Oh, but Mammoth Gamer gonna fall after that res comes in, though. A minute shaved off the clock as they go ahead and prepare for another attack.
That's right, and you see Animus getting close to their ult now. As soon as they get a grab, good DP pick here. That should be enough for them to win through this fight. But Mammoth does fall early again. That Mercy's got to be really careful. They need that damage boost to poke through the shields of Rebellion or get another pick. Pro Gamer with a good boot there onto Nigel.
And ends up getting the pick onto Tragozin as well as Kraken following up onto Phoenix Fire. Kabunga now getting their hammer into the fight, and the cart is moving. 2 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock. They are finally out of spawn free to take some more kills from Rebellion.
So 2 minutes there. Animus didn't have to use any ultimates to win through that. So they're going to have basically 6 ults online. Rebellion going to be closer with 4 as well. But Animus needs to win this early. They can't let this push into an overtime take at the end. But an interesting position from Rebellion coming behind the cart here. And the grab.
Oh, and that's a huge graviton too, but the Shatter coming in to follow it up, ends up getting the double barrage to add on to that. Just pain and misery right now for Team Rebellion as they move that cart once again. They're going to be looking at a final fight here on Objective 1.
Yeah, they got a whole extra fight out of that. That's impressive on that rotation there. Normally teams would just push right through the middle, but oh, that pick on the Pro Gamer too, they can win this.
That's not a good way to start off. The Blizzard also coming down as Nigel taking down Crimson, who had the Deadeye online as well. Tragozin swinging with that big old hammer, looking to see if they can take Kabunga out of the fight, and will end up being successful thanks to the pistol of Nigel. That is going to be all she wrote from Animus right there. 1 minute and 10 on the clock to push that extra couple meters.
Wow, Rebellion doing just an amazing job there. I don't think many teams would be able to get 2 full fights out of that. That initial rotation, stalling the cart the whole time, and then giving themselves enough time to push in without using their ultimates. They baited a lot of them out of Animus in that second fight. And now nothing really on the deck here for Animus. They have another high noon. Crimson's done a lot of work with that here so far. But the Shatter and the beat, Rebellion going to be able to get really aggressive here using that beat without having to worry about grabbing behind it.
And that Deadeye is going to end up finding Uriah Kabunga, able to follow up on the Nigel as well, but the kills now coming in for Rebellion, ends up getting the double as we see Kabunga falling to the tackle of Tragozin there in the end. Phoenix Fire cleaning everyone else up with the beautiful Coalescence as Nigel brings on a high noon for the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, and they're going to have 4 big ults on the side of Rebellion. It's going to be tough for Animus. The good res there on the Pro Gamer. It does have the barrage now, so they'll be able to push in a 6 into this fight, as well as Smirk having the window, which they'll open up early with here. But watch out for Kraken's grab. He's got him playing the massive one here.
Somebody's got to touch that card. 2 seconds on the clock as we see the Deadeye come out. Crimson able to get that pick onto Nigel, but it's not enough. The barrage comes out. No, but Snowy melting Farah before she can even say just. And Rebellion will take it away 4-0 this evening on Rialto.
Rebellion looked incredibly strong there on that initial defense, taking all that time off there at the beginning. You see Phoenix Fire is that 3 play of the games on Moira. That's pretty impressive. I mean, I know you're seeing a lot more support play of the games right now because whatever patch is going on, but still, good job there out of Phoenix Fire. Not normally you can see the support shine that way. And Rebellion looking very strong there in Rialto. A very, very impressive first point hold for them, getting 3 fights in on Rialto, which is insane. I mean, I don't
That
know how
is
your games go. I don't. If I get 2 fights, so
Yeah, pretty much. If I get a good 2 fights before we get to that first objective, our defense is going pretty well. To be completely honest with you, if we get to the end on attack with just 2 minutes in the clock, I count that pretty average. So
yeah.
it is pretty crazy. Well, Rebellion, congratulations, moving their way up the bracket just a little bit more. Now 3-3 in the season. Animus, I know that you're having a hard time with all the changes to your roster, but hopefully everything is solidified, and we'll see you bring it back later on in the season. Looking at our schedule coming up for the next week, don't forget every Monday we have the Iris podcast, so be sure to tune in to that. Next Tuesday, we have Fighting Potatoes versus Flashbacks in the Harmony division. Thursday, we have Alt F4 and Southlaws in the Discord division. And for our Friday match, we will have Venomous versus Lynx Esports, bringing it back for our final match of the week. So if you don't care about that schedule that I just put out, all you have to do is hit that heart and punch that bell so that you get automatically notified, and then you don't have to worry about what the schedule is. You can also hit that subscribe button, $4.99 or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription will give you access to some beautiful emotes as well as support our amazing community. You can find me, Captain Jack, on Twitch at CAPT_JACK87 or at twitch.tv/CaptJack87. Booth, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at BoothOW if you want. I'm probably the best at tweeting that exists. I do it at least once a month, so make sure you're following there to keep
Me
up to
too,
date on
fam.
everything Booth. um, then just keep your eyes here on Tranquility. I don't really end up streaming too often. I try to help out here with production as much as I can. So that's normally if I'm doing anything related there, you can find me on that side. Really excited, especially for our Transcendence tier match going to be next Friday. You know, Lynx Esports coming in here just in stage 2, so a new team for us, and then Venomous having a lot of roster changes. So practically 2 new teams are going to be fighting. So make sure you guys are
Mm.
tuned in next week because we should have a lot of good matches for you.
That sounds good. Want to give a thank you to Cavalier coming in and producing for us this evening. Thank you so much for watching us here at Overwatch Tranquility, and we'll see y'all next week.